Guys, magandang araw sa inyo. In today's video, I'm going to show you the ways to prove ng derivative ng cosecant x gamit ang first principle of derivative or by limit definition. So, throughout the discussion, matatalakay ko sa inyo yung mga fundamental equation and limit identities na kinakailangan in order na mahanap natin yung differentiation ng cosecant x. So, let's start. So, by the derivative definition, f prime of x is equal to the limit as h approaches 0 of f of x natin, this cosine x, di ba? So, cosecant x plus h minus cosecant x all over h. So, ang gagamitin nyo ditong formula to evaluate this is the sum of two angles ng sine function. So, bakit? Kasi ang reciprocal identity ng sine function is the cosecant function. Okay? So, f prime of x is equal to the limit as h approaches 0. So, cosecant x plus h is the reciprocal of sine x plus h minus ganun din 1 over sine x all over h. So, sabi ko kanina, sum of two angles ng sine function ang gagamitin natin. Ganito siya. Sine alpha plus beta is equal to sine alpha times cosine beta plus cosine alpha then sine beta. So, ibig sabihin, itong concept na to, gagamitin natin siya dito. Okay? In terms of x and h. So, diretso. Limit as h approaches 0 of 1 over, medyo mahaba to. So, sine first angle x times cosine second angle h plus cosine first angle x and sine second angle h minus 1 over sine x all over h. So, sunod yung gagawin dito is getting the common denominator. Then, f prime of x is equal to the limit as h approaches 0 of sine x times 1 is sine x. This quantity times negative 1 is negative sine x times cosine h. Diretso na, negative times positive is negative cosine x times sine h all over common denominator nila is by multiplying this quantity dito sa sine x. So, sine x. By the way, eto, wag nyo nang i-expand. Okay? Wag nyo nang i-copy dito. I-multiply dito. Etong identity na to is equal siya dito. Sine x plus h. So, ibig sabihin, i-multiply lang natin sine x plus h. Pero, para diretso kayo, wag nyo nang i-over h. Yung h, pwede nyo i-multiply na dito diretso. Okay? So, times h. Sunod naman, limit as h approaches 0. By applying associative property, etong nasa numerator, pansinin nyo, yung sine x, pwede natin ilabas kasi factorable naman eh. So, sine x times the quantity 1 kasi sine x times 1 is sine x minus cosine h kasi sine x times cosine h, ito yan. Okay? So, pwede natin i-split yung fraction para ma-evaluate natin siya. Tapos, magamit natin yung mga limit identities. Okay? All over that is h times sine x times sine x plus h. Yun. Then, subtracted, kasi subtract to cosine x times sine h, all over that is h, kasi tig-separate natin, sine x times sine x plus h. May gagamitin tayong limit identity dito. So, ganito siya. Sabi daw, limit as x approaches 0 of 1 minus cosine x all over x is equal to 0. And the limit as x approaches 0 of sine x all over x is equal to 1. So, pwede nyo siyang ma-prove na ganyan yung identity niya by applying left and right hand limit and by using L'Hopital's rule. So, i-simplify muna natin yung mga equation. So, as you notice, sine x over sine x divide out. I-isolate natin yung sine x plus h sa baba para ma-obtain natin tong identity na to. Then, dito naman, i-isolate natin yung cosine x. Then, i-evaluate natin yung sine h over h. So, etong sine x and sine x plus h, ilalabas natin siya. Okay? So, ganun yan. Is equal to, labas natin to, 1 over sine x plus h times the limit as h approaches 0 of 1 minus cosine h all over h. Okay? So, we need some space. Then, minus, labas natin tong cosine x. And ito, labas natin yan. Over sine x times sine x plus h times the limit as h approaches 0. By the way, itong h na to, i-evaluate natin yan mamaya. Pero para mas klaro, itabi muna natin para ma-evaluate natin yung limit. Sin h over h. So, ito, parehas din naman dito. Diba? So, yan. Naayos na natin yung equation. Ito, sabi sa limit identity, will now equal to 0. And this identity will now equal to 1. Ibig sabihin, this quantity is equal to 0. Kasi any number, any variable that is multiplied to 0 is equal to 0. And any number or variable that is multiplied to 1 is by itself. Okay? So, we obtain f prime of x is equal to negative cosine x all over sine x times sine x plus limit as h approaches 0 of h. So, ano ba yung value ng h kapag nag-approach sa 0? 0, di ba? So, ibig sabihin, negative cosine x over sine x times sine x plus 0 or just x. So, by applying the trigonometric identity, we obtain negative cosecant x because 1, negative 1 over sine yan, di ba? Then, times cotangent x kasi cosine x divided by sine x is equal to cotangent x. So, ayun. Yun yung prove ng derivative ng cosecant x, which is negative cosecant x times cotangent x.